tell us about the creation of Brava.
Sure. So Magma is a pre-seed and seed stage fund in LatAm, and its third fund started by Nathan, and cool investing in fun stuff. A lot of it is fintech, and Brava is our initiative to invest in female founders. So we're trying to invest in 20 female founders, and I just say trying, not like it's hard. There's absolutely no pipeline problem. We launched, I guess, officially maybe 8 months ago or 10 months ago. It's hard to remember. But we've invested in 11 women so far, and so another 9 to go in this. But I mean, I think for me, I think there's a very large, complicated discussion around the importance of funding underestimated people in venture. And pretty much the only thing that's important to realize for investors is that funding women and funding people of color is absolutely the best thing to do for your bottom line. It's not some social impact thing, right? There's now like dozens of studies that tell you the stats. And the stats are, there's no stats showing the other direction, right? There's no stat that has showed us that actually investing in white men is better when you compare it on a dollar per dollar basis. So there's a lot of good reason to invest in underestimated founders, but it's really, really hard for those people still to get investment. And pretty much the main kind of reason for that is just that we don't have a diverse body of investors making those investments. I mean, we all come to life with biases. If you don't have a brain, you don't have bias. That's a saying from one of the Latasha Morrison. She's an activist and author. And I mean, I think we've all sort of seen that and started to learn that more in 2020 than ever. But it's really true when it comes to investors. I mean, so in LatAm, as an example, you've got 92% of investing partners in LatAm are men, 8% are women, right? A woman is up to 3 times more likely to invest in a female founder. So again, it's just about having different people on the investing committee so that founders with good ideas who are strong founders can find that right connection and that right fit with an investor. And it's pretty obvious. It's not rocket science. It's just having people from different backgrounds doing the investing, because you're going to get more interesting deals. And I mean, it's really particularly important at this point because we're now how many years into the ecosystem in Latin America and many, many more years into the VC ecosystem in the US. And so what you're seeing is that if you really want to get outsized returns, you've got to start investing in things that other people haven't invested in, right? Because otherwise we're just fishing in the sludge. So we have to stop fishing in the sludge, Brian.
I'm with you on that. And I've been fortunate enough to do a handful of deals with you, and I think we subscribe to the same kind of belief. How does that compare, Latin America? So 8% or 92%, of the VCs or with check writing ability in Latin America, I guess 8% are women. What's the national average in the US, for example? Is there a lot?
I think the US this year was up at 14. It went from 13 to 14. In Europe, it's around 11. So, okay. I mean, it's bad everywhere, but, it's
a lot worse. I mean, worse, and it's bad everywhere. What do you think, what are some ideas to, kind of have a shockwave that results in a more dramatic change? Like what are some things? I mean, I think it's great that there's incremental improvements. Mm-hmm. What do you think are some ways that this can be, what would be something that would happen? Let's just brainstorm together that would result in a dramatic kind of, leveling up of that.
Well, I mean, the big thing would be having more female partners in large firms. So basically about 5 years ago, we saw the shift to having more women, people of color become emerging fund managers, right? And you have some, great increase in that. I don't know the numbers over the last 5 years, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's totally doing a lot for the ecosystem. The problem is, the combined assets of all those funds pale in comparison to even one of the big guys, right? So it's like, and you've got Sequoia adding their part 2 years ago. We just need big funds to add more women on the cap table, add more women to the investor committee, and add more people of color just to, make it a more diverse, more interesting, more fruitful conversation so that, these funds can over time make even better investment decisions. I mean, it's, and it'll happen, but I mean, at the pace it's going, it's going to be a really slow slog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like it's great that there's more fund managers that are, have more diverse backgrounds, but it's about the dollars too, right? Like, I mean, if you have a high volume of people that are writing checks, which is great, don't get me wrong, maybe the impact will be greater on the pre-seed. Hopefully those dollars going in are like really early stage dollars, like you, right? You're writing checks. I mean, when we invested in Emma, she didn't even have like really much of a product, right?
Right.
It was she had a list of women that were beta testers or
Yeah.
signed up, and so I think I guess that's the way to have the most immediate impact is go really early, more higher volume of diverse founders, and then there'll just be more companies that can be funded later. But I wonder if there's someone out there. I feel like there's someone out there that has a bunch of capital and
Mhm.
is moved to kind of make this. So this is a little bit of a call into the universe here, where you never know how these things happen. Where someone they should really just dump a bunch of money into like female operators, people of color that can really invest in, have they have probably a better eye, a more in sync. I mean, the reality is that, as a man, I think that I just don't have the perspective a lot of times of, and this, speaking about specifically about women, the next $1 billion markets that are, created by female founders, I probably would, I might miss that, a good chance I'll miss that. And so that's one thing that, so if anyone's listening and they have like a lot of money and they want to, turn that into more money, they should be giving it to you and others that are, that are building, that building the next generation of investors in the region. So I think
I mean, I think there's a good, I will cut in and say there's one good model that is what the Atomico Angel Program has done. So one of my friends, Sophia Bentz, she's a partner at Cherry Ventures now, but she was at Atomico and she was, I think, like the 8th employee at Spotify. She built all their marketing. And so my next book is with her, and it's about female founders and funders, and it's not at all done yet. But she did a great job of basically turning Atomico into a kind of pre-seed machine by giving operator angel checks to diverse angel check writing ability to operator angels who were, women and people of color at some of the top high growth companies around Europe, and it worked really well. And so I think you're a big fan of like operator angels also, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there.
No, I love that. And I will say a little shout out to Sasha, who was my CFO. She joined Atomico recently as a partner there.
Oh, I didn't
And
realize that. That's awesome.
should probably connect with her. She's a total badass. She basically was majorly responsible for us raising our Series C because she, came in and unlike me and you, she was actually, really good at math. So she was kind of a wizard on Excel and other things. So yeah, you might want to connect with her. She's pretty awesome. But I 100% agree with you. The angel operator model, and that's something that I think can really, really plant the right seeds moving forward.